Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. So what is up, everybody? Welcome to the wrap-up show of the week, the what our week in Animal Crossing meant to us and what we did this week. I am joined by the amazing Holly, as always. Holly. How was your Animal Crossing week?
It was good. Nothing crazy happened. Work has been kicking my butt this week, so I haven't managed to get in as many hours as I wanted to, but as you know, as I've said before, I'm building kind of like a universal type island, like as in the park, and I've started to like draft out my areas, like what I want them to look like. I'm like starting to build like castles and things like that, so that's what I've been doing. I ordered a lot, well, I say I ordered I have a lot of wedding organs, which is helping me build said castles and such.
Oh my god.
It looks mad right now, but yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. So instead of me like just going into an area and being like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to do that here and that here, I'm like building out and seeing what works, but at the same time putting stuff in certain orders so that I know when I go to actually put said things in their place, I know that it's going to look good. Which has actually been super helpful, having some kind of plan. So that's what I've been doing. Apart from that, well, I guess, I mean, I'm hoping by now, because this is on the Friday, isn't it? The Saturday just gone, I would have hunted and found my 7th frog. So we're doing pretty well. I'll hopefully only have 3 frogs left. And then I'll be done with the villagers. And then it's just going to be a case of full steam ahead. Let's build. Let's go.
Why do you want a town of frogs?
I honestly love them so much. I love the frog villagers. They're just so ridiculous looking. Like, Jambet looks ridiculous. Gigi looks ridiculous.
They're ugly.
But like in that kind of way that I just think, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there going like, oh my goodness, they're the prettiest things I've ever seen. They're just so weird looking. Like, I really love that.
Very strange.
They are very strange looking. Yeah, what have you been up to?
I built a new store on my island called the Nook Depot.
I saw some little bits on that.
So what it is I've built it and replicated it after the Home Depot.
Yeah.
Which is a home, decor store here, like they a home improvement store in the United States. And so like I got with UK Mike. He made me a logo that says the Nook Depot. I created a second character on the island that actually his name is Nook Depot. And so when you look on the map, you look up Nook Depot, and there it is, and there's a store.
That's so clever.
But the reason, here's what I did, was we built the outside, right? And we built it with, it was a 2-tier. We have like a little parking lot down below, like you could look down, it's a forced perspective where you have all the little cars down there. And then up top, it's like outside, when you go to a Home Depot, when you go outside, there's like all the barbecue grills, all the lawnmowers are out front.
Yeah.
So we put them out front. On the right, when you're walking to the store on the right-hand side, is a garden center. And you can walk through this little garden center area to get to the big garden center. So, like, I built the garden center outside in the front, so it goes up to the house. I kind of made it look like the castle type thing. I put 2 silos on the side to make it look bigger and grander.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But then now I'm working on the inside. And in the inside, it's a twofold process. When you go inside, I just wanted to give it, like, decorative. So when people do come, they could be like, oh my god, check this place out. It looks like a Home Depot. Like, there'll be a lumber area where I'll take all the wood that I need, I'll lay that out. And I'll have shelving and stuff that'll look laid out where it looks like, oh, this is like the lumber area. And then like, here is the appliance area, and here's like refrigerators and dishwashers and washing machines. And then like,
I cannot. Oh my god, that's
here's
so
the
cool.
bathroom and the plumbing area, right? We'll have toilets and stuff in there, right? So that's the whole game plan, is to do that.
Yeah.
But the reason why I did the second one was because I'm almost tapped on storage.
Oh, yes.
So what I want to do is I want to use that character as a backup for storage.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to offload all my Nook Mile tickets over to him.
Okay,
All
yeah.
the seasonal items that I have will go off to
Yeah.
him. And, like, all that stuff will go over
That's
there.
good for organization.
It'll
Like,
help.
really,
Well,
really good
not only that,
idea.
like, clothes. There's a lot of clothes that, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to wear short. Like, I'm very weird in particular where, like, I don't wear shorts in the wintertime. So
I'm like that
I'll
as
take the
well.
shorts and move all the shorts over to the other character.
Yeah,
But it helps clean up my inventory and keep it at
for
a
sure.
low functional area. So
Yeah, definitely. No, that's really, really cool. I think definitely with storage and clothes, like I have so many. I have like 4 pairs of the same thing,
yeah,
because I just buy them when I go to the shop, and that's like, yeah. So no, that's a really good idea. I like the idea of like naming like a second character
it's
after.
cool. Like I
Yeah, I
remember
love that.
on New Leaf, I had like Mr. Wayne because my town was Gotham, and I
Yeah.
had Mr. Wayne, and he was kind of really just my landscaper, where
Yeah.
he would go around the outside, and if I had tiles that got kicked up, like I put all the tiles with him,
Yeah.
all the patterns with him. So
Oh, okay.
So like if things got kicked up once a week, I would bring him out to go put all the paths back.
That's so funny. Yeah, I love that though.
But his house was a mansion, and it was decorated like Bruce Wayne's house. Like you had
Yeah.
the Batcave down below and all that. So it was kind of just a fun little thing. So that's where I kind of got the idea before to like, hey, name the character what you want to name the character, or you want the store to be, per se. What about streams wise? How many times did you stream Animal Cross? A couple times this week?
I did. So
Was it just
yep,
Hunt?
Saturday
Was it
and
just
Wednesday. Yep. So hunts and what else? Monday, I actually tried a little bit of Fall Guys, but that is like so littered with hackers. Like it's
Yeah,
not fun
it's not
at
fun.
all. Like you just think, okay, like not that I ever think I'm gonna like win every single time, but it just ruins it really. And then I'm like, well, what's the point in having this big race?
That's why I hate
So I stopped
PC.
playing that.
That's why I
And
hate
then obviously
PC gaming, yeah.
We played Mario Kart, like temporarily, which was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, streaming, I feel like I'm in love with it. I love Twitch so much. It makes me want to stream all the time.
Yeah.
Like this week has just been like kind of funny for me, to be honest. Like I've just not really felt that great. So the only thing in my head has been like, oh, what if I stream tonight? Because it seems to YouTube's different. YouTube feels like I don't mean this in a nasty way, but when you go from YouTube to Twitch, like YouTube feels like this weird startup, empty platform. For streaming,
it's hard
anyway.
to get found. It's hard to get found streaming.
Yeah, and the thing is, because when you're on YouTube, you're there to watch videos. Whereas on Twitch, when someone follows you on Twitch, they're more likely to watch your stream because that's what they're there for. And yeah, it's been like going really well. Like first week as affiliate has been like crazy, but I'm loving it. And I wish I'd made the change sooner, but I think I needed to feel ready, and I wanted to kind of see, because I was worried. I think a few weeks ago I said to you, I was just like, I don't really know like what I should do, and you were like, maybe gradually.
Yeah.
And then just this one day I was like, nah, I'm just doing it.
For me, like I'm not, and I'm not trying to say this to sound weird, I'm not the opposite where I want to go back to YouTube.
Yeah.
But I do miss streaming one day a week over on YouTube.
Yeah. You have to be careful as affiliate though, don't you? What you stream on other platforms.
No, the difference is you can't stream multi-streams. I can't stream to both places at the same time.
Ah, okay.
That's where you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
But for me, I look at it and I go, it's I'm hoping that Nintendo Talk will help fill that void mentally for me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because that's like, I just feel like I want to do something on YouTube.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
So I think maybe that talk show would help a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't do it this week, obviously.
Yeah.
So hopefully this week I have Rebecca from Nintendo Shack. It's a podcast that she's really awesome. Rebecca is amazing. So it'll be good to talk to her and talk about Nintendo. So that'll be fun to get in there and delve into that stuff. And I'm hoping that I do have a lot of Animal Crossing content creators on my list of people I want on there. I have Sam from Crunchy Island has agreed to come on. So I'm going to get him on there.
Good.
So I think that'll kind of, get people excited and get people like, hey,
for
this is what's
sure.
over there and all that stuff. So I feel like there's a good vibe over there. But I enjoy Twitch so much more because what people don't realize when you're streaming, the backside is amazing. The back end of what you're looking at is so much better on Twitch, not just for you, the streamer, but for your mods. Your mods have a different view where they can see everything.
Yeah, like the list of viewers, like they can just see. I just think like it's so much more interactive, and on YouTube I get a bit of a delay. I get like quite a severe delay sometimes, whereas Twitch seems almost 1-to-1. I might be a few seconds ahead, but
crazy. It's opposite for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
YouTube is almost dead on. Like I can say something, look over, and it's there. Twitch is just a little bit of a lag.
Really? That's because like YouTube for me goes like up and down. Like I had one stream that was particularly bad ages ago where it was like a minute, and like that's a long time when you're because you're having a conversation and then more stuff comes in, it just doesn't add up. But when I say something on Twitch, like 2 seconds later, someone will like, I can see they've reacted to what I've said.
And it feels
it's weird
better.
how that, but I mean, I guess however way you like experience
you might have low latency already built into your stream and didn't change it.
I think. Yeah.
Here's a question for you, because I'm really in this little bit of a dilemma mentally with this.
Okay.
So we both stream, and the idea is you're trying to stay fresh with your content.
Yes.
And I feel like I have enough variety that I'm doing that I could kind of stay fresh.
Yeah.
But there's 2 big games that are coming up that I want to, probably 3. There's 3 big games coming up that are Nintendo games that I want to stream. But I'm so scared of one,
it's tough.
People not wanting to watch it.
Yeah. But
B, and I'm not worried about that necessarily. I'm not really worried. Like I want to have fun, and
exactly.
My Chad, as we call him Chad. That's because of my brother. Did you hear that story?
Very briefly.
Okay, so I called my mom. She's in North Carolina. My brother picks up the phone, and I said, "Hey, Chat said they like you." He's like, "Who's Chad?" And that.
Oh my god, that's.
And that was it.
I must have missed that detail because I keep seeing Chad everywhere, and I'm like, what?
So that's where Chad came from. That's what Chad means. So the idea is, I like Chad follows me whatever I do, and they love what we do. It's more the interaction and the experience than it is the game I'm playing. I feel anyway.
Yes.
For the core of the people that come. But that being said, like, I haven't played single player games on stream in a while. Like Animal Crossing is single player, but there's still some interaction going on.
Yeah,
I'm building.
Of course.
They're helping me build. They're talking to me about building. All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like with Mario 3D All Stars coming up.
Yeah.
With Pikmin 3 coming up.
Yeah.
And then with Hyrule Warriors coming up. Those 3 games, I really want to dip out and play. And even Mario 35. But Mario 35, I think, will be a different ball game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people want to jump in on that and play and watch. Especially if you could actually play that with friends.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'm really... I'm not worried about... I guess I should explain this more properly. I'm worried about another game grabbing my attention and me losing interest in Animal Crossing.
This is my exact dilemma with Galaxy and Sunshine. Honestly, it for me, when that got announced, in my head I was like, ooh, this could be the break. This could be the one thing, because I've said it for years. Yeah. I love those games. I love 64, don't get me wrong, but like Mario, like Sunshine and Galaxy are like my top 10 favorite games. Like Sunshine is like basically my first. I've always loved it, so it's kind of huge, but it's it's so tough. I think as a creator,
It
like
is,
people
man.
don't realize that sometimes it's not a case of, how do I explain this without sounding like it's all about numbers, but
And for me, it's not even about that.
yeah.
It's really not about the streaming aspect.
Hmm.
It's about like that plays it plays in my mind a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my fear is that like I'm afraid that the game is going to pull me away enough from Animal Crossing, and Nintendo won't give me a reason to go back to Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, Jack isn't gonna bring me back. Like that's not gonna drive me back to go play that game.
Yeah, it would have to be something big, I think.
Now Brewster coming in might bring me back. You know.
Yeah, but for how long?
Well, if Brewster would bring me back for a while, enough to get me back reacclimated with it to keep playing.
Yeah.
That's my fear. My fear is, and I'll be honest with you, the game that has me is Hyrule Warriors. That's the game that got announced because that's the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Which is pretty huge. Like, that's a big thing.
Dude, I like the original Hyrule Warriors.
I never played it, so for me, I'm really happy to be able to.
Dude,
actually,
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's not. It's like it's a mindless game. You're running in. There's all these hordes of enemies coming through, and you're just like a god, just wrecking shop.
But that's like my kind. Like, I love games like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think it might have been my money situation at the time why I didn't get Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
But I love games like that.
Yeah.
Like really clean, crisp, like hack and slashes.
And the fact that you're gonna be able to play as Zelda, you're gonna be play as Barbossa, and all these different characters.
Yeah.
Even better across the board. Like, it's gonna be awesome. So for me, I think about it like that, and I go, "Oh my god, I'm in love. This is gonna happen." So my fear is, I don't mind a palate cleanse occasionally. Like I'll step away and play something. Like I've been playing Ori and the Blind Forest, but like, my biggest fear is that like what'll happen is I'll go, I don't want to play this game on stream tonight. I'm gonna play Mario instead, and then I'm just gonna be like, I don't go back to Animal Crossing ever.
It is, and I think people understandably don't realize the kind of dilemmas that when you are a creator, a streamer, you know, strictly a streamer or just someone on YouTube, like it can be a tough thing finding something else to do because you know so you've got Nintendo Talk, you've got Cup of Joe, you've got like these shows that tackle other areas of the gaming world, whereas like for me, you know, obviously Fantasy Life, well, that's years old. That's not coming back anytime soon.
They don't do another one of those. My God. Could you imagine on the Switch?
I would honestly, and like that would be incredible. It's like one of my favorite games. But for me, like I tried a couple other games on my channel, and you know, they're okay. But people want Animal Crossing, which is why when you know, the All-Star, like, I guess technically today it's out. When you're watching this, it's going to be out, which is so exciting. I'm not worried about being pulled away from Animal Crossing.
No.
I'm just, I just like, I love those games so much. I almost don't care. So like, I'm just excited to play. I thought about once a week adding in like a Mario stream where we just kind of go through the Mario games and still having my 2 Animal Crossing ones. But it's like the whole, and it's tough when you're a creator because you play something and then you're like, oh, but I could be playing that.
You don't want to stop. You want to keep going. And that's the thing. Like a game like Hyrule Warriors, I'm hoping I could blow it out in a weekend.
Yeah.
Because I know me, man. I'm going to get started. I ain't going to be able to stop. Yeah. And it's going to be like, I got to go. Like, we got to go. We got to check it out.
I think it is, honestly, it's like, it's so weird how when you're a creator, whatever you're doing, it's like so for me, certain games I decide to not play on stream and on YouTube because you then get caught in this really weird bubble of like, well, I just want to enjoy playing it, which is why 64, like Mario 64, I'll just play that myself.
Yeah, that's I'll be honest with you, if they would have redid the graphics, remastered the whole thing on all 3 games.
I am surprised. I know they upscaled them, obviously, for the Switch, but they didn't really do much else. I think, a couple of people, a couple of viewers were just like, I can't believe they're making us pay again for these games. But like for me, I don't have the consoles anymore.
Yeah.
I don't, so for me, £50, I would have paid £50 per game because I'm that girl.
I would have. I'd have done the same thing, yeah.
I am a little disappointed that Mario Galaxy 2 is not included, but if it comes out as DLC or maybe as an you unlock it once you complete Mario Galaxy,
that'd be awesome.
I would really love. Mario Galaxy 2 was just so stunning. It was
so hard though. God, it was hard.
Oh, I love it though.
The ramp up was so dramatic.
Oh, it was. I'm gonna say it right now. Yesterday, I sat at my desk and I shook with excitement because I was like, I'm going to be a bee again. I'm going to be a spring again. I'm going to ice skate again. It honestly, I cannot tell you when it got announced. I honestly cried at my desk. I was so excited. I've wanted this for so long. I'm fine.
I'm watching your cat. What the hell is your cat doing back there?
Stitch. Oh, he's fast asleep.
But no, he wasn't though. He was moving, and I'm like, what the hell is down in that thing moving around? Oh my god!
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
At least he's asleep this time.
I want to go back for a second though, because man, I was and I'm pretty sure you're on the same level as I am with this. I was so bummed when Fantasy Life 2 became a mobile game.
Oh. Do you know what? Well, I made a whole video because Toby actually messaged me. I remember this so vividly. Toby messaged me, right? The text says, Fantasy Life 2 is coming out on mobile. And I filmed the video 2 minutes after because I already had makeup on. And I just screamed into my camera. I don't know if you remember that. I just screamed into my camera. And for those of you that have never heard of Fantasy Life or don't know what it is, it was an incredible 3DS game that came out 2 years after it released in Japan, something crazy like that, and it never ever got the publicity that it deserved. But it's a game where you can have all these different lives, and you could choose a combat class, you can choose a crafting class.
You could be a baker. You could be
an angler. You could be a blacksmith. Yeah. And then you could switch between the lives. Yes. Get new skills, have companions. The world for a 3DS game was huge. It gives me goosebumps talking about it. I've got goosebumps right now. And honestly, the amount of people that must have bought that game because of me, because a lot of you guys are going to be very, very new to me in terms of the grand scheme of things, but I was one of the first people to make videos of Fantasy Life, and I used to make guides, I used to do reviews, and I became this kind of Fantasy Life person. And I was so gutted when the second one was coming out on mobile, and I don't know if it ever did. I don't think it ever did.
I don't know, man, but all I know is it really bothered me that level 5 did that, because the thing is it was sold as this is like Animal Crossing when you first, now to some degree it was, to another degree it was nothing like that. It was like an Animal Crossing RPG.
Oh, it was so... You could have pets. You could design your house. Yes. You could buy multiple different houses in multiple different areas.
Yeah, you could buy a house in every town. So you could go to one town and have a house there. But the thing is, and the one thing that I regret not getting into more was the multiplayer.
Oh,
you could actually go off together and quest, and you could have.
And there wasn't any weird restrictions. And guys, honestly, there were these big bosses. They would take a while to kill. You would always find secret little areas. It just when I played that game, I always found something new. And then they also released DLC where you went to this other island and you had all of these trials, and
it was harder.
It was much harder
because you needed to be you need to be level 50 before you could even beat the game.
Yes. Yeah. And then 100%.
I think they said you needed to be up to level 60 or 70 before you even went into the DLC.
Because it was tough. So you have this whole game at your feet, and then they add DLC, which just, and then it raised the max level from like 100 to 200.
Oh, man.
You had these trials, they got harder and harder. I mean, all the companions you could get.
Yeah.
And it's just like the fact that you could go through the game being an angler if you wanted to. And the story would, in terms of time, take you to about level 35 from what I can remember. But dude, if a proper number 2 actually came out on the Switch, I would, that for me would be the game that pulls me off everything else.
I would lose my mind. I think why they went mobile with
So
it was
good.
because Japan was very mobile-esque back
Yeah.
then.
They were.
Phones
it was like
at the time.
Like a town builder.
Phones at the time was becoming a huge thing.
Well, that was like the Candy Crush boom. Like that's when all of that happened.
Yeah,
so
I get why they did it, but man, I would love for them to come
it
back.
was so disappointing. But the thing is that, you know, at the same time, with them being so mobile focused, and the game got released, Fantasy Life got released like 2 years after it got released in Japan, and they just never marketed it properly. I can't even remember how I found it, honestly. I was living in London at the time. We had no money. Our food budget was like crazy bad, and I wanted that game so badly. And one week I was just like, can I just do it? Like, I don't care if I don't eat, I need this game. And
you're like, hey, Ig, I can skip a couple meals this week.
Do you know what? I've got something to lose. I don't really need. I don't need to eat. And it honestly. And then I started. The first YouTube video that I made was a review on Fantasy Life, and then all of a sudden, I'll never forget. The next day, I had 300 views, and the day after, I had 600, and that is now on over 100,000.
Yeah, man.
I remember. Like my guide.
I remember when Toby introduced me to you.
Yeah.
You had more subscribers than me.
Yeah.
You had way bigger views than me. You had videos that were like 30, 40, 60,000 views. And
I'm like, mad. Because people
Toby,
just came to me.
I'm like, Toby, how do you know this girl? He's like,
but he used to comment on my videos.
Yeah, he's like, I want a giveaway.
Yeah, he won a giveaway.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me through my like Facebook page at the time. And I was like, whoa, like, hey, you know, and then all of a sudden like got introduced to you and like Alan and then the Geekcast, and then it was so much fun. But the one thing that would be amazing is that I just know if Fantasy Life came back, I know people would come back to me. Oh, you know, I know they'd be like, oh, that Holly girl.
I would be right there with you playing. I'd be like,
people,
Holly, teach
I still
me.
Get comments. I still get comments being like, are you the Fantasy Life girl? And I'm like, funny. I am.
That's
I
so
am.
funny.
You remember me.
Yes, me.
It's me.
Love me.
I love Fantasy Life.
This is true.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's something that in a future Animal Crossing game, like, would it be kind of cool if
so
it was,
good.
you know, would it be kind of cool where it was like we just went out and did this thing?
Yeah,
like,
and just
like harvest
explored.
Stuff together. Like,
yeah,
you got 4 people together and you went out, and I was talking about that before. Like, what I would like is to kind of take a thing of Stardew Valley, where you get just like one day this volcano just forms in the back, and then like it becomes dormant. Like maybe like for a month the volcano is like really, it's kind of active. The villagers are talking about it. They're kind of scared about it, and then it just goes dormant, right? And you don't know what's going on back there. And then Tom Nook comes to you and goes, "Hey man, I would like you to go check out that thing." And then you start going down.
Get all new materials.
And what I would like to see is like Reese and Cyrus come back, right? Yeah. And then as you go down, you mine, you get bells, maybe you get Nook Mile tickets, you find like different ores and different things, right? You take these things to Reese and to Cyrus, and Cyrus like goes like, "Oh, you know what? We could take this and this, and we could change this chair for you. We could do this and this."
Yeah.
All this crazy stuff, and like it becomes, and then like you could bring your friends and go down, and maybe you should get deeper and deeper. I know it's not necessarily Animal Crossing, but God, it would just add such a dimension to the game.
When I think about it, when I think about Fantasy Life on the 3DS, and I think about how many things that game had in it, like just the size of the world, all the different lives, all the different this, all the different that, it's kind of like Animal Crossing could do that.
Yeah.
That could, you know, don't know. I just think it would be good to have more of like an exploration bit for Animal Crossing. That would be really, really good. Like you said, like, you know how when you look out onto the horizon and you can see like those very faint like 2D like islands, you know, way, way off. But like, imagine if one day they just started to come a bit closer and then you can like swim over to them. And then, you know, I just think it's a shame because in my head I'm like, oh, they won't do that. It's not Animal Crossing-esque. But the thing is, they added in crafting, which was not Animal Crossing-esque. You know, it was brand new. I would love more exploration. I love adventure games. I love open worlds are my favorite type of games.
It'd be nice if they kind of pushed us in that direction a little bit. Like, I would like it to be like, hey, here's a DLC or an expansion. You don't have to get it if you don't want to. For all the people that are screaming like, oh, I don't want it. But for the people that are like, yeah, I want something extra to do. Yeah, man, hook it up.
That would be really good. Like, imagine being able to like visit the city again. Imagine being able to do stuff like that.
Imagine this. Imagine like if you had, say they did what I would say with the volcano, right? And then you could customize furniture off of it, right? Yeah. So then it becomes a thing of like, well, you, Holly, didn't want to buy the expansion, but now I have all this furniture line that's totally different and customizable. Then I could be like, well, the reason why I now have this thing is now I could sell furniture that I've acquired through there or trade for things. Dude, it would add to the currency of the game.
Yeah,
make
it would.
Totally different.
I think we need a huge currency shake-up in Animal Crossing because it is whack at the minute.
Nook Mile tickets and acorns and pine cones are now the thing. Who would have thought the acorns and pine cones would be the currency?
Well, when we're like doing all these like we're doing like a villager hunt bingo every time I look for a villager and things like that, it's like the prizes are full mats because like bells,
nobody needs anything else.
Only very new players need bells.
And nobody. First off, here's the thing: you're not using bells on furniture.
Yeah.
This was going back to, you know, when we go back to what my complaint to Kato last week was when I was saying like the game's not full, is because there's not things for me to spend my bells on. It's nothing.
Imagine if every single time you crafted something, it cost a little bit of bells. You know, log steaks cost 1k or this or that.
I don't need that. I don't need to go to that extreme. Yeah. But I need it to be like, hey man, when I go to Nook's Cranny, there's actually stuff for me to buy.
Yeah.
I've literally bought that store out in 3 weeks. Where there's nothing there for me to buy anymore. I go in and I look and I go, ugh.
We mentioned this before, how like we're so stuck with that one color variation. Like, oh wow, I have, you know, a blue trash can and you might have a green one. And it's just like, imagine if they actually mixed it up. So if you were like, oh, I need this item. Oh, look, it's in my shop. I need to go and check my shop today because what if there's that in there? I know they really wanted to push like the multiplayer aspect of it because then you trade with people, but at the same time Animal Crossing has always survived as a solo playing game. I've told you before, like New Leaf, I had no friends. I didn't really play with anyone in particular. So it was good that I could mail an apple to one of my villagers and they'd mail me back a peach or something like that. But like now you don't get that, and this is the thing, like they're trying to push the multiplayer side so much, which I understand and it is a good thing, but at the same time some people can only play solo for many different reasons. So it's like, why don't we have different variations like of it doesn't cater to solo play at all. Like not even a little bit, which is such a shame, you know.
Exactly Lord, we gotta figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, we do. We gotta figure it out.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another week of Animal Crossing Breaking Bells, or Breaking Bells, an Animal Crossing podcast. Be sure next week we have a guest. We can announce it now. Bean will be here next week. Yay! So that'll be exciting to check out. So for now, that is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye.